really the best league in the world. Man, I love this game. We talking fantasy, we talking football. Prime time grind, we know how to ball. We some all-stars getting paid every week. We talk trash and shake hands, we ready to eat. We talking fantasy, we talking football. Prime time grind, the league of superstars. We got the hot topics, we know the sleeper picks. Expert analysis, yeah, this is it. This is it.
Yo, what up, world? What up, everybody out there? Welcome to episode number 2 of the Prime Time Grind Fantasy Football League podcast. You already know who it is. Your boy Breadwinner. To my right, I got
G Money. What's up?
What it do, and to my left, I got.
Don't worry about it, man. Don't worry.
He's
Don't worry
still trying
about
to figure out
it.
the
Yeah,
name.
don't worry about it. He doesn't know. You know how it is when people are not used to winning.
Oh,
Right, Gerald.
uh-oh, he jumped straight into it.
Let's get into this. Let's get into
Y'all
this.
get into it?
Okay, so the first episode we had our draft, so we made our predictions and discuss everybody's team, how we thought everybody was going to do. So now we got to talk about the results, man. So we got to recap on week 1 results. So I'm gonna start off. Do y'all want me? I can start at the top, or I can discuss the elephant in the room.
Elephant in the room, man.
Elephant in the room.
Elephant in the room. Let's get
Okay,
it.
so let's go ahead and get into the
get
elephant in the room because we had Gerald's team, which is G Money, versus Nick's team, the football team. They went head to head, and in week 1, the ending result was, what was the ending result, guys? Who want to say it?
Well, let me start off.
Okay.
If I recall, on the last episode,
Hang on, somebody calling me. That's important.
He going into a deep dive.
hey, look. Okay, look. I'm going to cut straight to the chase, okay?
Okay.
I fell asleep a loser, and I woke up a winner. Simple as that.
Sometimes that's just how it's got to be.
I couldn't believe it.
I can't be mad, man. I can't be
said,
mad.
how in the...
I can't be mad.
bleepity-bleep.
Look, I can't be mad. I watched that game, man, and Lamar fumbles Jackson. Just did me in.
So what was
Nothing I can
so
do about
crazy? So I was watching the game, and I was looking at my sleeper pick, and I looked at your pick, and I think you had one more player playing, which was Lamar Jackson.
Who was your sleeper pick?
Shawnee Michelle.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want to mention his name.
Sonny and Cher.
Because Sonny was still asleep.
You're right.
Basically, he was still in New England. Look,
Sleep there.
I was like, oh my God. I mean, Lamar Jackson, he was going to have a terrible game.
And he did. And he did.
Well, yeah, I guess.
From a
He had
fantasy
30 points, but he only
Right,
but he cut it in half because he
right. From a
couldn't hold on
fantasy
to the ball.
perspective. How dare him? He knows fantasy is important to our lives. Damn NFL.
And let's set the stage, everybody, because we got to talk about the score. Nick's football team won 120.24 to 119.34. So G Money lost by less than a point.
Less than a point.
And let's not forget to say that, Lamar Jackson, he fumbled 2 times. So if he didn't fumble those 2 times, then G Money would have came on top. So that's why all this kind of criticism is going to Lamar Jackson right now, because he cost the game at the end of the day.
Well, I'm not going to just blame Lamar Jackson.
You got to, though.
We got Zerline, who needs a Zyrtec, right?
Kicker.
Because he's allergic to field goals and extra points with Dallas. I mean, he missed, 3 now? He did a good comeback. He ended up...
He had 11 points.
11 points, but
Not too many kickers get that.
But if he had to close the deal on those first 3, this conversation wouldn't even be
It would
happening.
have been a short thing.
I mean, if that's the case, if Sonny Michelle would have got on the bus from New England, I mean, he could have went a different way too. So, I mean, let's
It's early.
it could have been woulda, coulda, shoulda.
It's
At
early.
the end of the day,
At the end of the day,
Man, Lamar Jackson
the
just
D grade beat out the C grade.
hey, look, you know what's so crazy? If I hadn't benched Herbert for Kirk Cousins,
And that was a gutsy move.
Yeah, it was a gutsy move. He back into the woulda, coulda,
Which
shoulda.
I thought my defense. Well, at the end of the day, I still got more points from Kirk Cousins than I did.
Yeah, you got 20 points. Lamar
Yeah.
Jackson, whopping 16 points.
So my decision paid off.
Paid off.
Yeah, it paid off. It paid off. Yeah.
Those little decisions, they matter, man.
But my defense didn't play.
So I do want to call out a
as
couple of
expected.
players.
Who you want to call out?
Cooper
G?
Kupp, 24 points.
Nice.
Mr. Consistent.
Mr. Consistent.
Mr. Consistent. Got to shout him out.
Who else you want to shout out?
Nick, man, you're tight end, man. Hawkinson,
I tell you.
20,
Atkinson, as you like to say?
yeah,
I tell y'all. Last
25 points, man.
Hey,
So
again, I was surprised. I was surprised about that.
where I'm going though, man, it's hard to call teams like this a C and a D.
Man,
We got talent on the team.
those grades don't mean nothing, man.
No, man, no.
They don't. I know how they make up them grades, so that's why I don't even feed that much into it.
You know what the biggest surprise was for you, Gerald?
What's that?
Derrick Henry.
Yep.
First
Yeah,
game
man.
of the season. Arizona defense never really been.
I didn't expect that from Arizona defense.
I didn't expect that from the Titans.
No, I didn't either.
I thought the Titans had a good defense.
I did. The Titans laid an egg, man. They really did.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. And
y'all
they played.
married
They were
people.
at home, right? Weren't they in Tennessee?
No, they was in Arizona.
Okay. They'll recover.
But
Listen, this is a long season. Game 1. Well, I won't say. I don't want to jinx my team. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
we'll talk about Calvin Murray when we get to that matchup.
Okay.
Right.
So we see Nick came out on top this week.
Barely.
Barely,
I
but
can't
hey.
even. Hey,
When it comes to fantasy, every win is important. So gotta take it no matter how you can get it.
oh, I'll take it. Sorry, Gerald, but
Oh. So let's see who we got next. I guess it kind of makes sense for us to discuss our points since we doing this podcast.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go ahead and jump to myself. Which was the biggest disappointment probably in my fantasy career. I lost to Balls Deep. I had 86 points. Balls Deep had 124 points. So he kicked my butt. But he didn't necessarily kick my butt. I just didn't show up. My team.
no. And Rodgers didn't show up.
No, Aaron Rodgers didn't show up.
It's more than Aaron Rodgers, but Aaron Rodgers, he hurt the most. Aaron Rodgers, I think he had 2 points, 3 points. Let's see.
2.82.
If you're rounding, it's a 3, but
No,
yeah, man.
that's unbelievable. That's unthinkable, right? The season, the MVP for last year put up 2.82 points. So I don't think anybody would have thunk that. A guy in my other league, he drafted Aaron Rodgers in the first round as his first pick. So I know he was sick just thinking like, I spent my first round pick. But again, it's Aaron Rodgers, and that's not going to happen next week.
No, it's not.
It shouldn't.
It's
Hey,
not.
look, you know what scares me the worst? I saw a picture on, I think it was Instagram or Facebook or something like that. I think it was like from Sports Center. I can't remember where it was from, but anyway, they had a picture of Aaron Rodgers after the game, and they had a picture of Tom Brady.
Why?
Aaron
the
Rodgers
comparison?
looked old. Tom Brady looks young.
Well, I said all that hair on it. Tom Brady, clean cut face.
Maybe that
Aaron Rodgers got that beard.
His face is wrinkled. Like he looked like he don't look like a football.
No, you know what? And listen, I would have thought Aaron Rodgers would come out throwing dimes every time with all that hype over the offseason. Either he's in Green Bay, he's not in Green Bay. He became this prima donna, and man, he flopped.
That's probably part of the issues. That's what happens when you miss all the
100%.
days.
Yeah.
You miss all the preseason workouts.
That's a great point.
You think you're just going to come on the field and just do whatever you want to do?
That's a whole lot of pressure to put on yourself. And then
Breadwinner.
that last statement that he had, talking about,
Yeah.
you drafted my replacement, you might as well play him or
Well, he should have, considering the way he played this weekend.
right.
Should have threw him on in there. Breadwinner, you surprised me, man.
Hey,
You left Debo on the bench.
I think it's time to look at your quarterback.
And listen, Mozart, man. Every year we want to give him a chance.
You know what? And I think I'm a little bit cursed when it comes to fantasy football week 1. Because every single year, I end up with a player getting injured.
Mm-hmm.
Like last year, I had Marlon Mack, and he got injured the first game, out for the whole season. The year before that, I had Tevin Coleman. He He got hurt. He was out like 6 weeks. So every freaking year, I end up getting somebody on my roster hurt. And not only was Mostert hurt, but Deontay Johnson was hurt too. But he ended up coming back, and he actually scored a touchdown for me. So, again, I had those injuries, and I had Rodgers. So, this is week 1. It's only week 1.
It's week 1.
You're right. So, you got week 2 to put 2 in.
But you got some beasts out there, man. You think about it, you got Nick Chubb, 22 points. Chubb ain't lost a beat from last season.
My boys got to get touchdowns. I got Calvin Ridley, Keenan Allen, Mike Evans as my tight end, as my receivers. They all got 5+ catches. They just didn't get in the end zone. But with players like that, they're going to find their way to the end zone.
I hope so. Let me tell you. And I'm wearing it. These Falcons, man, I don't think Matt Ryan's going to get it for them.
They're going to have to throw the ball, though.
They're going to have to.
They're going to have
Ridley
to
might have a whole bunch of catching yards, but they got in the red zone how many times and couldn't score.
They look bad.
They did.
Yeah, couldn't get, in the red zone and couldn't get in the end zone.
That's all the
It
Falcons
doesn't
do.
look good for anybody
No.
that's got Falcon players on their fantasy team.
But let's take a look. Let's take a look at Balls Deep team, because he got Dak Prescott. He scored 27 points for him.
Yeah, man.
He had DeAndre Hopkins with 26 points. Those were his top 2 players.
You can stop right there. They scored enough for
Damn near
2
to
players.
beat me.
Yeah.
With them 2. Everybody wondered what Devontae Smith was going to do.
And
He scored a touchdown. He got 19 points. So that was good. Got Robbie Anderson, got 13.2 points. So he again, 124 points. It ain't a lot of points, but it was enough for him to get the victory over me, man.
yeah,
So
he's got some duds in there, too. He
at
had, Najee Harris, 5 points. Would have expected more. I know he's a rookie, but still.
Got 2 rookie running backs. He got Williams from Denver.
Yeah.
He got 5 points. So his running backs were kind of.
And again, I go back to this,
tier.
man. Matt Ryan, you got Pitts, you got Ridley, you got Gage, got a decent backfield, and you can't get in the end zone, man.
They don't have an offensive line.
Nope.
They've never invested in an offensive line. So
I thought Kyle Pitts would have a better game, but like I said, man, well, the Falcons, outside of fantasy, they just didn't invest in their team. They, it's kind of like, I was talking to Reggie one day. He was like, everybody they picked up in the offseason basically wouldn't be a starter on somebody else's team. I mean, it's true, and it's sad.
Man, he left Pittsburgh. He left some meat on the bone because he left Pittsburgh on the bench. Started Minnesota.
but I would have maybe thought the same thing. Pittsburgh, they playing against Buffalo. Minnesota playing against Cincinnati.
Yeah.
So,
Cincinnati, a different team.
Hey, that's the thing about fantasy football. Sometimes logic don't make sense.
No, you're right.
That's
good. A lot of times it does.
That's right.
Good.
It's just like,
That's good.
every NFL season you got a team that come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And it's fantasy. Like
Tampa Bay was that team last year.
Right.
No one predicted them to win. I mean, we didn't even predict them to make the playoffs.
They started off real slow.
Yeah, it's like
They didn't look like they was going to go to the playoffs.
Tom Brady was on the ground. They was getting in the backfield and, in typical Tom Brady fashion.
And you're going to have players come out of nowhere.
Yep. So who do we have next,
That's what I was
breadwinner?
looking for my piece.
So let's see who we got next. Next we can go to Brian's best team versus I See Dead People. So in this one, I think this was, they sent you the little notifications and it said this was the biggest blowout. I think because he lost by 40-something points. So Brian's best team won 152.64 points to 109.30 points. So Brian's best, he won it last year. That's the champion for last year. And let's see what his players did.
Just looking. Well, Matthew Stafford, man, looked good with the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
Weapons to throw to. I think that was a good deal. He had a solid game. Anytime your quarterback gets 24 points.
He had a good game.
Brown from Tennessee. I mean, he had a solid game.
14 points.
Of course, Mari Cooper.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
That really did it for him.
Yeah, but Dak was dishing it out, man.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
All his receivers was getting love.
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb, Gallup, he was passing the ball to everybody.
So I guess his receiver from San Francisco didn't even play.
Yeah, Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah.
Of course, Elliott, we know he laid a egg.
Yeah, got 5.9.
Right.
Um,
Take me out, coach.
Right.
Although he did some pounding, I'll give him a little credit. But
DeAndre Swift, that cat,
He got 24?
He's
Yeah,
picking
he's
up
real.
just where he left off last year.
He did break a long run against my 49ers. I do remember that.
Yep. Justin Tucker is going to do what he
Always.
Yep. And I believe excuse me. I believe the Rams had the
Rams defense did
the highest defense total for the day, I believe, or for the week.
Well, they did with 10.5 points.
I believe I may be wrong, but
Andy Dalton, quarterback. So Chicago Bears, that the offense is gonna struggle. So anybody who's playing against the Bears, it wouldn't be a bad pick to grab that defense until they switch over and give the ball to Fields.
And you know what,
that's
man?
not a surprise.
Why do the Bears make it hard on themselves? So you draft Fields. Fields look good, but then at the last minute, hey, just throw in Andy Dalton.
I don't
And just
know.
make us still continue to look like the bad news Bears.
He need to pull a Belichick move, man.
Yeah.
And just say, hey,
exactly.
we going with the new kid.
You out.
I
What
don't
do you
think
have to
the kid
lose?
is ready though.
I don't think any rookie's ready.
But who can do? Andy Dalton, man, come
At
on.
the end of the day, the boy played for Ohio State.
He's better than Andy Dalton, though.
You had to get that in there, didn't you?
Think about your options, right?
He's
we look
better
at
than Andy
the
Dalton.
rookie quarterbacks from the Jets. Wilson, they lost.
What is it, Red
Taylor Lawrence,
Yeah.
Jacksonville, lost. Mac Jones, Patriots, lost. It's hard.
Barely.
Still lost.
But you know what? You got to get him in there. Get him.
I mean, of course you got to get
Because
him in
honestly,
there.
let me
but
ask you, what is Fields really going to learn from Andy Dalton?
he could probably learn something from him because he's been in the game for a long time. Because it's easier to tell somebody the right thing to do versus doing the right thing yourself sometimes.
Right.
Because Andy Dalton, he just don't have the skill set to be that elite player. He might have the mentals.
He might have the mentals, but I mean, when you
He
think
might-
about
he
the talent of a Justin Fields, Andy Dalton's style of playing ball doesn't even align.
Right.
That's true.
It does. They're two different type of quarterbacks.
Yeah, they are.
I couldn't figure out the logic of the bad news Bears, and this is why they stay the bad news Bears.
Right. So let's take a look at I See Dead People. Let's take a look at his squad. So who was his top performers? So, okay. Josh Allen, he only came up with 15 points for the Buffalo Bills. Devontae Adams, of course, that Packers offense just struggled.
Yeah.
So he only got 10 points. His top points came from Miles Sanders. He got 17.3, 0 points, Philadelphia running back. And DK Metcalf, he had 16 points. Who else? Dallas Goedert, he got 14 points. No, Philadelphia did good, man. So you see their offense put up some
They
points.
did.
Chris Boswell, kicker, got 11 points. Good for a kicker.
Hey, I see dead people. I honestly see a dead team.
I think you said that last time.
Yeah, just look. If I think, what was his rating? What was his draft rating?
Well, you want to keep it real?
His team isn't bad,
I
man.
think he had the second best. He had the second worst.
I see dead people. I got Lamar Jackson out
Everybody
there.
in the league.
If you're interested, make me a trade.
He got Josh Allen. He's not going to go for no trade. Josh Allen is a good quarterback. Like, I seen a lot of things, in my opinion, in this week one that was just crazy. Like, a lot of stuff that was abnormal. A lot of receivers got off
They did.
in week one.
They
I don't
did.
know if this trend is going to continue. A lot of quarterbacks didn't do as good as they should have. And Josh Allen is one of those quarterbacks.
Well, here's the thing you got to remember. They played Pittsburgh, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And Pittsburgh got humiliated the last game
Yeah, they
of the
did.
year by Cleveland.
Yeah. No matter who
Mike
they.
Tomlin.
Yeah.
Was that a
You know,
playoff game?
Yeah, that was a playoff.
No matter
game.
who they played, they were gonna pound them
They were
to prove a
prepared,
point.
ready to go.
Hey, Brad, when
Pittsburgh was
I
not
was,
going to come out there.
I was trying to wheel and deal, man.
My bad.
You see, I threw that.
I didn't mean to
I
mess
was,
up your
I was
hustle.
trying to. Lamar Jackson is
Hey,
available.
Lamar Jackson's on the board.
Make me a trade.
I see dead people. He's on the board. My bad. Oh, man.
That's what got me in trouble last year.
Trying
Isn't
to
it?
get rid of
Look,
him for 1 week,
no,
man.
right. That's what got me in trouble last year.
Hey, I see dead people. Hey, don't believe the hype, man. Again, just like I said, don't sell your stock in your quarterback just yet.
Right.
Yeah, that's
because
right.
he did play. I think Pittsburgh defense always. Well,
Mike Tomlin.
but I think they were better prepared for the first game of the season.
Right.
And
Well, and I know we don't go by projections, right?
No.
But they projected him to score 144 points. So you're right. The team that the players that everybody expected to show up just
Didn't show
didn't.
up.
Just didn't. I mean, you're right. It's that first game of the season.
And look at Ronald Jones in the starting lineup.
Yeah,
Ronald Jones,
man.
that boy has so many ups and downs, man. It's like a roller coaster for real.
And as soon as he fumbled, you and I were saying he's out.
He's out.
He's out. They pulled him immediately. We didn't hear from him again.
He didn't come back. He got negative points on the board. So,
well, one thing that stands true too that we mentioned in last week's episode, Russell Wilson with his receivers.
right.
I would have thought Metcalf would have had more than 16 points. But I think Taylor Lockett probably had 40 points.
And those deep balls, you get burned on them deep balls. Hey,
Yeah, it's like ching, 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 ching,
Right.
ching.
Yeah.
like get caught with that hot hand. Like you see the hot
Yeah.
receiver, you getting them safeties or them corners burnt.
Yeah.
You got to
Taking
keep going
time
to
off.
it.
Keep feeding
Yeah.
him. Yeah. Keep going to him.
Keep going to it.
And that's Russell Wilson for you.
Right.
But I mean, 16 points is still
That's good.
That's good. I mean, if your receiver can get you 16 points, it was just his quarterback didn't. It just everybody had an average. Everybody just had an average day, and then like say Jones didn't. Julio Jones didn't.
He ain't got but 5.9 points.
Yeah,
Well,
and then like say Ronald Jones is just
And
that fumble killed him.
And if you look on his bench, he didn't leave a whole lot of meat on the bone, honestly, because
He had Waddle on the bench.
Waddle, that's about
Yeah.
it. And I don't know if I would have. I mean, when you look at what he's put out there, I don't know if I would have started Waddle.
Nah. Like sometimes when you get them rookies, you gotta watch them for a little bit. They gotta prove themselves. If they not having like some killer preseason where they shown that they can dominate, sometimes you just gotta watch them and see what happens.
Well, and when you look at his running backs, he made the right move. His running backs, both Sanders and Henderson, 17 and 15, and then his backup running back was Johnson, who had 11. So he made the right moves. It was just one of them weeks that the players you expected to show up just didn't.
But Johnson would have helped him instead of Ronald
Jones,
Jones.
yeah.
But still wouldn't have been enough to win.
But that was a flex position. I probably would have.
You could put anybody in the flex. So
Well, so the moral of the story is Brian's best team was definitely the best team in week 1.
Yeah, he was.
definitely.
And I see dead people. He was looking in the mirror.
Facts.
So-
Facts. All right, so let's take a look at our next team. Our next team we got Rich Crack versus Rango. This was a close game, man.
Yeah, it
This
was.
one went down to the last game, the Monday night game. Rich Crack won 137.06 to 133.28. A very close game.
So when you have a game like this, the question is not so much how Rich Crack won, but how did Rango lose?
Well, I think we'll start with Tannehill, but
I would.
Yeah, that's a big
Yeah.
factor.
And then that goes
That's a
back to what
big
we was
factor,
talking about
man.
earlier. Arizona defense played better than what. Well, okay, let's ask the question. Was it more so Tennessee
Arizona
unprepared, traveling out west, or was Arizona's just that good?
Well, let's give Arizona a little credit, man.
Because
I mean,
okay, but we see Arizona, right?
yeah,
Arizona did the same thing last year. They came out on fire,
Yeah.
and then they just
Punch-
slowly just.
Yeah, they punched him in the mouth, man. You're right. And then during the season, they began to slow down. But I think that has a lot to do with, the quarterback, not being used to that play. Every year, you got to get used to the play. And if it's not like college, that's my point. And I think this year he's finding his way. He's knowing, his reads are crisper. His passes are right on point. They just look good. Now, again, Tennessee looked really, really bad, right? And it's just hard to think that you got Julio Jones, you got Brown. I mean, you got a Hall of Fame running back, you got to give Arizona some credit because Tannehill has always been Tannehill.
I'll give that defense credit.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. I would probably say if I was Rango, I wouldn't panic too much because even if the main reason I wouldn't panic too much is because, all right, if you go to Tannehill stats, right? So he had 212 yards, one pass TD, right? He didn't really have a great game, but here's the thing. So Tannehill he only passed 212 yards, one TD pass. Mm-hmm. They only scored 13 points total. Derrick Henry was very pedestrian.
It was obsolete.
So at the end of the day, was it? I think it was more so Tennessee was just unprepared.
But I will say this. Rango, I would have started Trevor Lawrence over Tannehill any day.
Any day?
Any day.
Who?
That's a bold move.
I would have started Trevor Lawrence over Tannehill any day.
That would have been enough for him to win today.
Are you just looking at the point?
No. I started in my other league. I actually Trevor Lawrence. I dropped Tannehill after this game. I dropped him, but I started him. I just, again, to me, Tannehill is like Garoppolo. Just to be honest with you, right? They just in a good system that fits, but they're never going to be great.
Well, you know what hurt him too? His running back.
He got Saquon Barkley.
Yep. Killed him. He killed him.
Yeah, that's a great point. Saquon, they always say stay away from the running back that comes off an injury. At least let's see what they do the first couple of games, right? Because they don't run the same.
He didn't do what he usually do. I mean, if you look at his stats, he didn't have not one. He had one receiving yard.
So listen, even if he had stayed, let's just say he stayed with. I'm gonna get off Tannehill. If he had stayed with Tannehill, the real elephant on his team is Green Bay got him a -4. That's the difference in him winning and losing.
Oh boy,
That's the difference, right? That's the difference maker. He had a -4 points out of Green Bay.
That's a good punch.
That is a good
when
punch.
You get negative points from somebody or a defense.
Yeah.
That's a good punch.
That's the difference in him. At least, he would have won, right? If he had got those 4 points back, he would have won by what? 20.22 basis points? Yeah.
That's a gut punch, man. Hey.
There it is right there. So look at Rich Crack. Rich Crack over here. Man, he's looking good. I mean, you look at his first 4 players, they're all double digits. Diggs with 15, Sam Darnold with 19. Lockett just went off. Lockett scored enough points for 2 players, man. Lockett and Thielen.
Rich Crack, he got the best out of his roster. I mean, when I look at his roster, it ain't much better than mine.
Really?
Other than
really? Man, you
should. Okay, all right.
You gotta compare it to another team than that.
He's a beast. Tell him.
Yeah, man. Come on, man.
And
y'all heard that right.
He got Aaron. Okay, he got 4 good people. He got 4 good people.
Chase Edmonds, that's 5. He got 16 points out of Chase Edmonds.
Now, one thing I'll say about Rich Crack, because Rich Crack is actually my cousin. He's one of the best people of finding nobodies, and them boys be balling. Like, he'll pick somebody up on the waiver wire you never heard of, and they'll give him 14, 16 points.
That's what I was kind of hoping for this season.
Me too. Look.
That's why I compare his roster to mine.
But those receivers, I mean, he got an elite pair of receivers.
Yeah,
Stephon Diggs, Lockett, Thielen. The quarterback position, Sam Darnold, that's kind of questionable.
Right. What are you thinking there, but
but he's one of those guys. he'll drop his quarterback every week and he'll pick somebody else up. So I think he picked up
Fitzpatrick on the bench.
He picked up Baker Mayfield. And he's starting Baker Mayfield this week. So he'll drop players like it ain't nothing and put somebody new in position.
But you know what? That could be. It could go in your favor, right? Because that's the luck of the draw sometimes.
It's risky.
Yeah,
It's
true.
risky. It's a risk.
It's risky. But he pulled it out this week.
Okay.
So let's see here.
What do we have up next?
But that was definitely a good matchup.
Ooh, here we go.
Well, I like to see his matchup again next week.
Alex Phillips, legit team and head full of steam.
Oh, this was the heavy hitter.
This was the heavy hitter. Man, these boys put some points up, didn't they?
Crazy. So head full of steam, 160.36. Alex Phillips, legit team, 167.36. Oh, so he edged him out by 7 points.
Wow.
So, Alex Phillips' team, he got the second highest points in the league, and Head Full of Steam got the third highest points. So, man, that's one of them things, man. It's a hard L when you put up like one of the highest points in the league and you still lose. But this was a great match to see.
Well, these guys got two stacked teams. I got to give it to them. Jalen Hurts, he's that quarterback, kind of like Kyler Murray kind of deal. He's going to get you good points every week. I mean, you can bet on that, basically.
I didn't expect that, man.
Well, the way the Eagles looked in the preseason, I mean, they were pretty much you was like, oh my God, But, let's keep it real. Is Atlanta just that bad, though?
They are that
It's just
bad.
that bad. Yeah.
That definitely has something to do
It's
with it.
trash. Yep.
I do believe so.
But outside of that, okay, so he got Jalen Hurts as quarterback. Just say if Jalen Hurts starts thinking it up. So he has
Joe Burrow.
on the bench.
Yep.
Yeah. So, he can't go wrong with Joe Burrow either. Especially when you got the rookie from Cincinnati. Okay, he got you 21.40. That dude, man, he's solid. Chase.
He dropped all them passes in the preseason, so people didn't really expect him to come out and do that
Right.
much. But he showed up when it was game time, for sure.
Yeah. Then you got Antonio Brown. We saw what he did on Thursday night.
Is that going to be consistent?
But Chalk, he's a good receiver.
He is.
He gets good points mostly every week. He's pretty consistent. Then you got Kamara. He's gonna do what he does.
Right.
Joe Mixon.
Man, this should have been Head Full of Steam's game. And these are two teams, honestly, I think will meet in the playoffs. And just to be honest and just very transparent, if you look at their lineup, these guys should go all the way. Bar they don't do anything wrong. But when you look at Head Full of Steam,
well, how did he lose is the question.
Look at his tight end. He had Andrews or Gronkowski. Gronkowski had 29 points. Balled out. And that's Tom Brady's go-to guy. And that's why Evans, you told me that.
Yeah.
Brad, he don't go to Mike Evans anymore because he got Gronkowski down there.
Ooh.
Right.
Man, you talking about sick. So his starting tight end was
Mark Andrews,
which is a great start.
That's
a great start.
That's a hell of a pick. But the problem of it is, okay, all right. So what I did see from that game, I think what killed Baltimore, and it just took Lamar out of his element to where Andrews didn't have a better game because it's almost they needed him to do more blocking than going out and catching because Oakland was getting decent pressure. Number two, Lamar just didn't have the best game.
Well, and
that's what it boils down to.
Let me ask you, did Oakland come with decent pressure, or is Lamar thinking pass run? Because if you notice, every time the pocket collapses, he'll run up, but he don't pass it. He'll stop, pause, look for an open area, and go. And sometimes the pass is there.
Mm-hmm.
The pass is there. He's thinking run at that point, and that's where he's got to. If he's going to last in the league, and we've all seen it, We can go back as far as Cunningham, who I think is really kind of one of the first, run pass quarterbacks. He didn't last long in the league because they eventually teams figure you out, right? And then all them hits, Lamar was getting ate up to at the same time.
Bruh. Head full of steam got a squad.
Man, I was telling you, man. I was telling you. Yeah.
I mean, this roster would be a headache for me because you wouldn't know who to start and
You wouldn't. No. You couldn't go wrong.
I mean, he got 100 points on the bench.
See, that's the thing. Like when you pay attention to like fantasy football and like the people who generally win championships, generally the person who wins is the person who drafted position number 1 through 6. Those are the top people who win fantasy football.
Yeah.
So when you look at a head full of steam, he was the number 1 drafter. When you look at Alex's team, he was the number 4 drafter. So these guys were early in the draft.
Yeah.
So basically how the draft is set up, if you make the right picks,
You should be, yeah.
in the playoffs and, a primetime team to make it to the finals. So these guys did an excellent job drafting, and the guys are producing.
Yeah, he had Alex Phillips on Alex Phillips' team. He had Marvin Jones, man. And he left Marvin Jones on the bench with 18 points. And the thing is, when you go back, you kind of go, well, what? Yeah, what? Right, right. Nick, you're right. That's one of them things that give you a headache because you don't know which one to start.
Yeah, and then like week 2, you just, oh my God, what I'm gonna do?
Right.
Like Gronk. Okay, is Gronk gonna give you 39 points next week?
Right.
I'll be honest with y'all, I'd love to have that problem.
It's a good problem to have.
That's a great problem to have.
Absolutely, it is.
It's an excellent problem to have.
Well, you know what? Guess who Tampa Bay play next week?
Dallas.
No.
Who they play?
The Falcons.
Oh, that's right.
Gronk is gonna rack it up again.
So
man.
He should.
Yeah.
So head full of steam. Are you gonna start Gronk next week?
Who does Baltimore play?
So
Man,
who does Andrew play?
First of all,
Kansas City.
make sure you know who he plays first, because if he playing me, man, why you giving him directions on what to play? Oh, I get it. You just want, I get it. You want to see me
just
just
one
go
of those
down.
things, like whatever happens.
I done got sensitive over here.
Right.
Man, why you giving him advice, man?
It's one of those things. It's like it's not a lose-lose situation. But when you look at the players, like Andrews is Lamar Jackson's number 1 target. So it's hard to bench somebody's number 1 target. Like Gronkowski, we thinking that he's the red zone option, right?
We ain't sure.
But we thinking it looks pretty much like that. But Tampa Bay got 3 other elite receivers to throw the ball to, right? So I'm pretty sure that there'll be a couple weeks. Yeah, Gronkowski, he ate this week. But it's going to be a couple of weeks where he may have 3 points,
But
4
listen,
points.
knowing Tom Brady, and y'all know this, when he was with the Patriots, he was throwing the receivers. We don't even remember their name.
Yeah.
Right. It's the distribution of the ball. Right.
Well, he's got more weapons.
He's got more weapons, right? I mean, than he's ever had. So,
but if you look at one thing about Tom Brady, he's not going to force the ball to nobody.
No.
When you look at that game against Dallas, he saw the weakness and he just executed every time. He saw the linebackers.
and he
I was
just,
JB
out of
Woods go
position.
to the huddle
Man,
like,
he
man,
was
He saw them linebackers out of position.
Right.
I'm going right here to my tight end because they ain't covering right.
right.
And tearing them up. So he see the weakness and he know how to exploit it.
Can you imagine that? It's like off the subject though, but could you imagine like Tom Brady been in the years for like 25 years and a receiver going up to him, hey, look, man, you gonna pass me the ball or what? Like, I mean, hey, look, you probably got a better chance going to complain to the coach.
Tom Brady
said,
"Get open."
Going to complain to him in the huddle. He'll probably, man, get your.
That's why. That's why when Jones made that one fumble, Tom is the one told him, "You out."
Right.
Go stand beside your coach.
And go stand beside the coach. Send me somebody else in here.
Oh man. But definitely, man, definitely was a great matchup of the week, man. So
Yeah, that was.
That was.
It'll be exciting to see what them 2 guys do the rest of the season, if they can meet or exceed expectations. So last on the list, we got Javal's team versus League Runners.
The man that.
And League Runners had the highest points this week.
You paid that man yet?
Yeah, I paid that man. I told him the bank don't open on Wednesdays, man. Don't talk to me on Tuesdays. I gotta wait for point correction.
Right, that's what I was gonna say.
Something
The
might
score,
change.
right. The scores the ink hadn't even dried
The ink
yet.
ain't dried on the contract yet. Man.
I saw the text. He's like asking for a friend.
Right.
I was like, the commissioner already. He
man.
told me last week, boy. He said, "Hey, easy as you think it is when it's time to pay out, especially when you lose." Like,
Man, this team is beasted.
that's that conflict. That's that conflict of interest.
So let's see who he had.
Man, his team is beasted.
Well, he had Patrick Mahomes, who came out with 32 points.
As Shannon Sharp would say, my homeboy. You know what? That was a weird game, man.
It was a weird
Like,
game.
because
It was.
when we were sitting there watching it, it was just like they were dead.
Yeah.
It's like it wasn't like how? Where did it come from? Like they just silently just came back because I don't know. Is it just because Cleveland is just a rah team, you know? But they just like, okay, now Kansas City is winning.
I think
And they
Cleveland
gonna
did a
win.
good job to start. I think after that second half, made those changes, and it was a wrap. It was the Mahomes show after that.
Yeah, so you know, I guess if I would have had Patrick Mahomes as my quarterback, I'd have just probably like, okay, if they would have came out leading, you know, and it would have been a close game, but by them being down, you know, just looking over the years and you see Patrick Mahomes, you almost want him to be down by like 15, 20 points. Because you know he's going to come in the second half and light it up and get you about 40 points at the end of the game.
Right.
That's right.
So, I mean, that's basically what happened.
Pretty much.
But hey, when you look at league runner's bench, there are opportunities, right? League runner is probably started everybody that he could have. In other words, he put in his best. His predictions were almost at 100%.
Yeah.
Because there's really nothing on the bench that would just, you know, Mark Ingram's not going to get you another 14 points. You won't see Ingram do that. Jameis Winston, we still on the fence with him. Don't know if he's gotten over his crab leg.
Crab leg debacle.
We don't know that. It seems like somebody's in his ear, quarterback whisper. But I mean, when you look at, he becomes normal after that, right? Everybody that he started executed, and that's one of them perfect games. Like it's like us picking everybody on our team that we thought was going to get those points. I don't know how often we're going to see this from him.
You know what? If his boys stay healthy, that'll be a good thing for
Who is
him.
that?
League runners. Because one thing I've
yeah.
actually over the years, whenever I haven't had like no bench, but I've had a good starting team, my team has performed better. Like that's been my best performing team. I'm looking like, dang, I ain't got nobody on my bench. Like the bye weeks come, I gotta
You got to drop somebody or get rid of a kicker.
I guess when you got like a good starting team, it's just something
Just
about
roll,
that when you ain't got to worry about like, who I'm gonna put in. Am I gonna put in this person? Like we were talking about with the last team that we just kind of reviewed.
Yeah,
it's like that's one of the. It's an easy flow for you because you ain't got to debate. But over the years, I've kind of had my best team when my bench struggled, and I just had to deal with my starting lineups. But I don't know. He did a good job drafting because he got a couple people in the late rounds that I was looking for, like Jarvis Landry, and also Corey Davis from the Jets.
Hey, and Jarvis Landry's going to be beasting because your boy is not back yet. What's his name? Mr. One Hand Catch. Odell's not back. Jarvis is going to be the man there.
But those are very late round picks.
Yeah.
Very late round picks. And they put up points for him. Of course, he got Dalvin Cook. That was his first pick. Darren Waller beasted. I mean, it's just a winner having Darren Waller on your team because Carr's going to throw him the ball every time, whether he's open or not.
He's open.
Yes.
With his size,
his
frame, I mean, he can catch up above. I mean, that's a home run hitter right there, man.
Yeah.
26 points. And then Sterling Shepard. That was another guy that I was looking at in the late rounds.
I was looking at him too, man. It's two guys he got on his team that I was thinking about picking up. That was Shepard and the dude from he got on the bench from the Eagles.
Who you got from the Eagles?
Rieger.
Oh, Jalen Rieger. He got 16. Gosh.
So, but here's the thing, though, man. See, I got a problem.
Uh-oh.
I just hate teams in the NFC East and it just it's just hard to pick up them guys sometimes, man.
Rub you the wrong way.
It bites me in the butt when it comes to
Can't
fantasy.
be sensitive about that fantasy.
Yeah.
Different from playing to win.
So I believe I could have drafted both of those guys before he drafted them, man. But I just
But you picked up T.Y. Hilton instead.
Yeah.
I
sure
took him
did.
in on I took him in from the NFC East.
So we got a minute. We're gonna, I guess, pick up and talk about week 2 a little bit.
Yeah.
Yep, we can.
I'll go ahead and bring it back.
All right, so we can go to week 2.
Week 2, we start off with G Money and I See Dead People. I mean,
Week 2.
if we were going by the rankings, I See Dead People looks like they're gonna edge me out, but I got something for you.
So you just gonna skip all over?
I just went in order.
Went in order?
If you just go to week 2, you know what? It may have listed me first because it's my team. That's probably why. Did it list your team first?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine. We can go with you.
Dang. It's like we can go with you.
Oh man, you
Get
got
you out the
way. Well, the projection is tight.
Yeah, man, I got another tight game here. Yeah.
I think I See Dead People quarterback is going to have a lot better.
I think Lamar Jackson
Game.
is too. I mean, they're playing Kansas City. This is going to be a shootout. This is going to be a shootout.
Devontae Adams was going to have a better game against Detroit.
Yep.
DJ Metcalf, I mean, I think he's going to still be solid. Julio Jones, Matt Ryan going on the road to Seattle. I think they're going to be 0-2.
No, you mean Tennessee. Don't forget Julio with Tennessee now.
Oh, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. That's still tough for Tennessee, man. So I would assume Tennessee stayed out on the West Coast probably.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see them making that trip back over to the East Coast after they play Arizona. So maybe they might be adjusted to that time zone out there by the time that game starts. Maybe the players will be in a better shape, better position. Maybe, I don't know.
This is going to be another tight game.
That's gonna be.
Yeah, I know I See Dead People. You got a good squad, man, but I don't think it's going to be a runaway. I think we're gonna beast it out all the way to the end.
So the thing of it is, like, okay, he got Derrick Henry. I mean, you have Derrick Henry.
Yep.
He has Julio Jones. What is Tennessee gonna do? I mean, can that be an even wash?
Could be. It could be.
If Seattle played decent defense and hold those two guys in check, you know what I mean?
Well, take a step back. Miami's defense is not that bad. Josh Allen may not have a great game against a Miami defense.
That's what you're hoping for.
Why you shoot me down like that real quick?
Wait, what y'all talking about? Y'all talking about next week?
Next week.
Yeah, week 2. So his name was Lamar Jackson, right? So, I mean, how is Lamar Jackson going to bounce back for you, G?
I think it's going to be a shootout. I think it's going to be a shootout with Kansas City.
A shootout?
So, I mean, if it's going to be a shootout, what Lamar Jackson going to do with his legs? Or he going to do with his arm?
All I'm saying is they got him scoring 23 points, 22.93.
There you go, looking at projections again.
I got to. I ain't got nothing else.
You need some baseline.
I need something, right? I gotta have something.
Okay, let's see who's going to get you some points easily. Nobody.
So what did you say about the projection? Did you say that you think you're going to...
No, I said it's going to be a tough game.
A tough game?
Yeah, it's going to be a tough shit. It's not going to be an easy win for either side. Derrick Henry is not going to have another... He will not perform like he did in his
Against
first
Seattle?
game.
Out west, they've been out on the West Coast. Like I said, I'm sure they didn't travel back. I mean that could be a good thing.
And David Montgomery against Cincinnati? Come on, man.
Yes, it's going to be a close game.
Yeah, it's going to be close.
Yeah,
And listen,
San
I don't see
Francisco
Zerline missing field goals again either.
You don't?
Nah.
You never know with field goals.
Okay.
But I'll take him. I'll take him at that 8.
Yeah, that'll definitely be a good
San
matchup.
Fran against Philly.
Well, hold on. Now hold on, okay. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
Ain't too
third
much.
line. I don't know.
Ain't too much more you can speculate about that.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. We have to wait.
You have to wait and see.
We'll talk about that next week.
Right. We're gonna talk about it Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. All right, who we got next?
Who y'all didn't talk about yet?
So Gerald's. So
Brian's best, is that what you see next?
yeah, we go to Brian's
And
best
breadwinner.
team. They got breadwinner
Winning.
winning.
Hey, I was projected to win last one, so that's why I hate projections.
I think Aaron Rodgers should have a good game.
Yeah, man. He's not gonna throw 2 duds in a row.
And
Calvin Ridley.
This is a great team to come back against. Detroit. So Calvin Ridley against Tampa Bay. Of course, they're gonna have to throw the ball. That's my only.
That's what Calvin Ridley is supposed to do.
Hold on,
Matt
can
Ryan.
we, revisit that question?
What
No, that statement you just made.
What?
You said Detroit is a great team to come back,
Or come back against.
or
Right.
is it Brian's best team a good team to come back?
Detroit. Detroit. When you look at last week,
Yeah.
when the 49ers put up 40 points against Detroit,
Yeah.
it's a good team for the Green Bay Packers to come and play against after that horrible loss they just had in week 1. So this is a good week for Rodgers to get back into that rare form that he's supposed to be in.
You know, Detroit almost came back and beat San Francisco.
We're not talking about Detroit's offense. We're talking about Detroit's defense
Right.
that allowed 40-something
Yeah.
points. That's what we talk about. They
I just wanted to throw
they
it out
offense
there.
can score 100 points. I don't care. We talking about Aaron Rodgers here.
Washington football team over there throwing shade left and right, man.
Hey,
Wait till we get over
Detroit
there.
offense score 100 points. I don't
Look,
care.
Brad, I'm going to give you a good prediction. I predict you're going to win this one big because the other thing is he's got Ezekiel Elliott. He's not going to get 16 points. You can bet
Chargers
that
defense
right
is
now.
better than what you think it is.
If they keep the same offensive scheme that they had last week, they let Dak Prescott throw 50-something times.
And they're going to continue to do that.
Continue doing that, yeah.
We won't see Elliott get 16 points.
Right, he's splitting touches with Pollard anyway. So.
Yep. And then is Ayuk going to play? What was his deal?
Who was that?
Brandon Ayuk.
Brandon Ayuk was dealing with a hamstring, but everybody thought that he was going to play.
Yeah,
so I'm not sure if that hamstring is
So
a bigger
he went out
situation.
early, right?
He didn't play at all.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he didn't play at all. So
Eckler will get his 19. Swift will get his.
yeah, Logan Thomas, he probably get a touchdown tomorrow against the Giants.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
I hope he get 2 or 3.
DeAndre Swift. I mean,
He's solid.
Detroit. I mean, Green Bay's defense isn't looking good. So DeAndre Swift, he's gonna score.
He's going to
against
score.
Green Bay. He got Justin Tucker, which he's gonna do what he's supposed to do no matter what. And the Rams defense. The Rams is a good defense. So I mean, it ain't gonna be no easy game for nobody. We gotta wait and see what happens at the end of the day. But it should be a good competitive game.
I'm predicting breadwinner. It's going to be a blowout.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
I gotta worry about.
He's got A.J. Brown in, and A.J. Brown is questionable.
Are you gonna put Debo Samuel in?
That's my biggest dilemma every week because.
You got to roll with him, man. He is hot.
But who am I gonna take out?
Easy.
Easy who? Easy who?
God.
Ain't nobody.
Keenan
easy.
Allen killed Washington last week.
All my receivers are good receivers.
He'll torch Dallas. You're right. There's nobody you can take out unless you
I'd
do.
be about to take out
Deontay
Calvin
Johnson.
Ridley. Well, I don't know. See, the thing is, if
that's
you take
not-
out Tampa Bay defense
Hey,
is
hang
not
on.
that good on the back end
Hang
right
on,
now.
you're making sense. Calvin Ridley might be one that you need to take out.
He is the
Yeah,
number
but-
one receiver on the
Yeah,
team.
but they ain't throwing, man. They
Matt
Ryan is trash.
He got 10 targets last game and 6 receptions.
What was his
And
point?
Tampa Bay defense. Hey, look, Dallas is not. I think that whole thing with Dallas against Tampa Bay was a little bit of fool's gold because Tampa Bay back four is not that good at this moment. They hurt and they
Do you see what Dak Prescott did to them boys?
I just have a hard time putting any investment in anybody from Atlanta right now.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Gerald.
It's just hard, man.
Yeah. So it's not an easy choice. Like my receivers are good. Even Johnson, if anybody want to say Johnson, that's Ben Roethlisberger's number one target.
Sure
he
is.
scored for me last week. He
I
had
thought
7 receptions.
I got Claypool in my other league, and he not look Claypool's way.
Yep, right. So it's
you got a tough decision there, man.
I got to put somebody on the trading block and see if I can
There it
might want
is.
to do some moves for him or something.
There
You know what I
it is.
mean?
Hey, commish.
Hey, talk to me.
Hey, I
Me.
got a quarterback for you. I'm not afraid to give up Lamar.
Who you want?
We'll talk after we all.
You're over the pump fake.
Yeah. Hey, look, go ahead and talk to
You're the
you money over
puppet.
there. And I'll come back.
I ain't fake. I don't want to.
I'll offer some sweet.
He's gonna offer something sweeter.
Hey,
Let's see here. So,
trade your quarterback.
Who your quarterback? You ain't got no good quarterback.
Right.
Better than what yours did last week. That's for sure.
Hey, last week. Yeah, we can't live off 1 week. Let's see here.
Aaron Rodgers old.
You looking at Alex Phillips, legit team.
Who you playing against? Javals?
Javals, yeah.
Okay, let's see here.
It's a tight matchup right here.
Judging by these projections, it's tight.
Ooh, this is tight. This is gonna be the game.
Jalen Hurts, Russell Wilson. Well, San Francisco defense, I think, is going to be a little better than he's seen.
Yeah,
last week
honestly,
in Atlanta.
I think Russell Wilson is gonna do more than 23 points. Tennessee got roasted.
That was
Russell Wilson can get his against any team because
Yeah.
he can throw that thing, man.
Did Seattle invest in an offensive line over the summer?
I think they did.
Yeah, they did
more
because,
Yeah,
you know,
'cause
Russell came
He was
out.
gonna leave. Yeah, he was threatening like, I don't know if I want to stay here.
But Russell played that thing so smooth.
Yeah,
That's
he
where
did.
Aaron Rodgers messed up.
Yeah,
Russell said, I ain't say that.
right.
Right, Aaron Rodgers,
Right.
yeah, I said it. Write it down, take a picture. I don't give a
He said,
know.
write it down, take a
See how that paying off for him, man. I don't know if Green Bay gonna bounce back from that, but anyway. But quarterbacks, I mean, Jalen Hurts against San Francisco defense,
I'm
playing in San Francisco.
I'm giving the edge to Wilson on
Yeah,
that.
Yeah,
Wilson,
I'm going
Wilson
with Wilson.
definitely got the edge.
Tariq
Hill.
Chase.
I'm giving the edge to Tariq on that.
Yeah, man.
Joe Burrow. I mean, Chicago do have a pretty good front four, so I don't know how much passing they're gonna do.
Allen Robinson and is that Antonio Brown?
Yeah. And they're playing
Oh
Atlanta.
God, man,
Atlanta's
they're gonna torture
defense. Yeah.
Atlanta, man.
Atlanta
I'm
getting ready
going
to
with
get. Yeah.
Brown all the way.
All right.
Kenny Galladay and
Kenny
Chark.
Galladay. I'm going with Chalk.
Did Galladay do anything last week?
He didn't really.
He didn't do much.
No, I don't think so.
He had 10 fantasy points last week.
10?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, but
So we got Jonathan Taylor and Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, give it to Kamara.
Gotta get that
man.
Kamara.
Yeah.
against Carolina.
Jameis Winston's throwing is opening up that running game more.
I'm thinking Joe Mixon.
Joe
Against
Mixon.
Chicago defense. Even though Chicago defense is probably a little better than.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Buffalo's defense is tough, so I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I'll go
Yeah.
with Joe Mixon.
Kittle or Higbee?
Gotta go with Kittle.
Kittle, yeah.
Against Philly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Philly is as good as they.
You got Laviska Shenault and Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs is questionable.
He always
Yeah, what's
questionable.
wrong?
See, Josh Jacobs has turf toe. So turf toe, one of the things is it's never gonna
You
go
got to
away.
play with it,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so who else we got? So kickers got Koo and Suckup and Denver defense and Jacksonville. Oh, so that defense is going against each other.
Well, let's talk about the kickers for me. I believe
I mean, Koo
the
is an
Atlanta
awesome
kicker is going
kicker.
to
Yeah,
get his points in field goals.
yeah, because
and I
Atlanta
think,
can't get in the red. They can't get in the
Tampa
end
Bay is
zone.
going to get his points in extra
extra
points.
points.
Yeah,
So Koo
Yeah.
will come out higher then.
Yes.
yeah. Good call. Good call.
I'm picking Denver defense over Jacksonville defense.
Yeah,
They playing each other too.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah,
this is a good matchup.
It is
Real
a good
close,
matchup,
all
real-
the way down.
all the way down. Yeah.
So I believe I'm getting edge to Alex Phillips' legit team. But you said he was gonna change his name, by the way. But he said
He did.
he didn't name his team that.
Yeah, because his name is Alex, so he'll automatically give you a name when you join the league. So, like a couple people were like,
What, the legit team?
yeah, Alex is legit.
So that's what the system.
That's what the system gave him. Yeah, they automatically just give you a random name. Like Brian's best team. His name is Brian.
Yeah.
The computer gave him Brian's best team.
Really?
Yeah.
He hadn't changed it. He hadn't changed it in all these years.
He never changed it.
Yeah, just
Did he give you breadwinner?
Nah, mine would have said Lamont something. Let's see who else we got. Did y'all cover everybody?
No, we got Rango in here full of steam.
Y'all ain't do them yet? Okay.
And then we got balls deep.
Okay.
No, you skipped the football team and Rich Crack.
Oh, I thought y'all did all those when I stepped out. Let's see. So head full of steam and Rango. Who's projected?
Ooh, so
Head full of steam.
It's got a head full of steam
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the projection.
Yeah, he's still booming.
Having Kyler Murray and McCaffrey, he gonna always have that.
Yep, I think I'm going with his quarterback because
Yeah.
I'm always good with Chris Godwin. CeeDee Lamb, he had a good game last week. Is he going to be that consistent?
I think he's one of Dak's favorite targets. I mean, him and Cooper, and he's so nice.
So that's the only 2 targets that he.
I mean, of course, they got Gallup, and they like they tight end too. They got the tight end combo, Schultz and Jarwin.
Yeah.
But when you talk about route running, like CeeDee Lamb is definitely he's emerging as one of the top route runners in the game. The way that boy can get some separation.
He dropped the ball though.
Yeah, but if you can get open, I'm gonna get you the ball.
He have to go to Dallas. But anyway, that's another story.
So then we got Claypool versus Woods.
Woods.
Pitch Claypool.
Is Las Vegas defense better?
Their
I
defense
mean, what do you
seemed.
think about? I mean,
I don't know.
Watching the game,
Yeah.
was it
Monday,
more so
They
Baltimore shooting
defense-
themselves in the foot, or was it Las
No,
Vegas
their
defense
defense
stepping
seemed better.
they never had a good defense, but their defense seemed better on Monday night.
Yeah, they did.
I give them credit for
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I
sure
really
did.
will.
If that's the case, I think I go with Robert Woods and going against in Indianapolis.
Over Claypool?
Yes.
I don't know. I might have to go the other way and say Claypool.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, those receivers from the Chargers, not just because they beat my team, but those guys are good. Mike Williams and Keenan Allen are good, and they got a quarterback that can get them the ball. I mean, those guys are so efficient on the back shoulder throws. They were 13, I think like 13 or 18 on third down. I mean, it wasn't that our DBs was playing horrible or just had bad coverage. It was a perfect thrown ball and receivers that was, I mean, they were so in tune and on page with the back
Are
shoulder
you
throws.
comparing them to the football team? Is that your analogy?
Who, Mike Williams and Keenan Allen?
Yeah. Are you using a reference when they played against Washington?
Yeah, he is.
Oh God.
Yeah, I am. But,
Is that not a good comparison?
Right, I'm just saying.
Is it a little bit stronger?
Right, I'm like, man, you should.
I'm taking Mike Williams. So
When he said we, I was like, oh.
I'm taking Mike Williams. So head full of steam. Over Marquise Brown.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I will give it the head full of steam.
Those guys are solid.
Yeah.
Mike Williams
Well,
and
but aside all of what you just heard from the football team over there, you still got to look. He's got Kyler Murray and McCaffrey. I mean, man, at that point, when you sitting that rich, it's hard not to win.
so Melvin Gordon, who had 21 points last week. Of course, he was playing the Giants. He had a good game.
Sammy Watkins is not going to always get you 10 points. Sammy Watkins looked good, and honestly, we think Green Bay is going to get us 8 points on defense. Green Bay defense sucked. Everything about Green Bay sucked.
You sleeping on Tampa Bay? I mean, on Sammy Watkins? Why you sleeping on Sammy Watkins?
I think he's great, but I just don't see you playing with a quarterback that you're unsure about.
The thing is, you got to think about the options. Who else are they throwing the ball to?
Hollywood
Hollywood.
caught some decent passes.
He did?
Yeah.
He had a tight end.
Andrews. That's pretty much
That's
it.
it.
That's it.
Right? So
Yeah.
they need, with the other kid, Bateman, he's injured. So they really don't have too many options. So that's why I'm not sure how many points Sammy Watkins got last week. I think maybe 12.
I'm taking
13.
Sammy Watkins.
How many?
You got 13.6.
So, yeah, he's a good option.
I'm taking Sammy Watkins, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why. Houston. I mean, you can't. I mean, okay, we got Tyrod Taylor. Now, one thing about Cleveland, they got a good pass rush. And Tyrod ain't really the quarterback to just be getting away from the sacks.
Tyrod mobile now. Gotta give him a little bit more credit.
He's mobile.
He's mobile, but I don't see him just. I think I'm taking Sammy Watkins. I don't trust Tyrod Taylor getting the ball to Brandon Cooks against Cleveland.
Okay.
Defense front four anyway.
Man, you talking
Front
about Brandon Cooks?
That's legitimate.
Yeah, but I mean the advantage I still think is head full of steam overall.
Yeah, overall.
Yeah.
I believe so too.
All right, who do we have?
And I'm definitely taking Cleveland defense if I'm head full of steam. So, who's that matchup going to go to? I would probably say
Didn't we
head
just say
full of
that?
steam.
Did we just say that?
He need to make sure his gets confirmed.
Hey, it ain't final until I say it.
Until he puts the
You gotta
gavel
put the
down.
seal of approval on it.
Exactly.
So next we got football team versus Rich Crack. Okay, you had a lot to say about Rich Crack team earlier.
Yeah, this might be the roast of the week right
you
here.
said his team won't really nothing compared to yours. So if we going by projections right now, Rich Crack 143.92, football team 118.49. So Nick said those projections don't mean nothing, so we ain't even worry about
No,
those.
we ain't
Well, ask
worry
Gerald.
about it.
I think Gerald like 70 something,
Would have started out.
70 something,
Yeah.
like my 30 something.
So we got Baker Mayfield versus Kirk Cousins. You keeping Kirk Cousins in there, or you gonna go to your boy Herbert this week? So that's one thing we gotta realize is people still have to set that lineup. So everything we seeing right now isn't set in stone.
No, I'm going with Herbert this week. Kurt in Arizona. See, the thing that kills me about Kirk Cousins, man, you know, he's going to get you them garbage yards, man. And you can depend on that every week. Because what's going to happen, Minnesota is going to play well, and Kirk's going to play well, and he's going to get you good points. Or either Minnesota's defense is not going to show up. Well, I mean, it's basically Minnesota's defense, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, how well is Minnesota defense going to play?
Who they playing against? They're playing against.
They're playing against Arizona, and I don't see Minnesota defense playing that well. So here's the problem: in the third and fourth quarter, Kirk gonna probably give me 200 and some yards. He'll probably get 100 yards in the first. He probably get 100 yards, 1 TD in the first half, and then he might get me 2 or 3 TDs in the second half, garbage time.
Nick, honestly, you're done. Sonny Michel got 3 points. Who's on your bench that you're going to put in place of Sonny Michel? You're going to have to go out on waiver wire and do some magical trades, man, because you don't have no running back.
You didn't think I thought that far ahead?
Not the way you was talking. I had to bring some reality into it. I'm like, man.
No, so here's the thing with Sonny Michel, man.
Sonny, they got him scoring 3. I mean, honestly.
I'm going to give him one more week.
Man, you better.
I was ready to yank
Because
him.
if you give him one more week and there's anything out there on the waiver wires, it's going to be gone.
I was ready to yank him, but I think I'm going to give him
Let me look at
one
this
more
out
week.
here for you. I'm going to help you out, man. Let's see what's on the waiver wire.
Man, the way you just lost to me last week.
Okay, keep talking. I'm trying to help you out.
So you can't take Gerald's advice.
No.
I'm trying to help him out. Anybody got to be better than getting you 3 points.
Rich Crack doesn't even have a defense in his lineup.
I told you he dropped offense players. He dropped his quarterback.
He must be listening to the podcast, boy.
He got actually got Arizona defense on his bench, so he may slot them in there against Minnesota.
Man.
I got a little work to do on my roster, but
I'm not gonna even tell you. I'm not gonna even say anything. I'm not gonna even say anything about it. There's still some running backs out here that's gonna get you more than 3.
So who you
that's a projection at the end of the day.
So who are you projecting that you're gonna come out victorious this week?
That's every week.
That's every week. Okay. Well, even last week,
yeah,
you said you might lose.
Yeah, but I prayed about that thing.
He said he prayed. I didn't pray. That's why I lost.
I told you that I went to bed a loser and woke up a winner.
Yeah, the fantasy guys on your side.
Yeah.
Man.
I was so out of it, man. I wasn't even thinking about Lamar Jackson fumbling the ball, taking his points away.
I fell asleep at halftime. I didn't get to see
man,
the
I
whole
saw.
game.
I started to ping y'all so hot. I was like, Lamar probably sleep, man.
You pinged me first thing in the
I
morning.
watched that whole game, man.
That's the thing, man. When
I'm hoping for a miracle at the end. I'm like, all right, man. Maybe they need to put some more time on the clock. The game was over. Because remember, the first time they thought the game was over, and it wasn't. They had to call everybody back.
Right.
And then when they called, I was like, all right, man, it's over. Woo! Then they called everybody back. I'm like, man,
hey, that's
kidding me.
That's the worst thing when you got a close game like that, and it's a Sunday night game or a Monday night game, and you depending on that game to get you over the hump,
man.
And you can't keep your eyes open.
No, I know, right?
Because, I mean, you doom either way because on Sundays you up, you getting ready, so it's like, you wake up early Sunday morning, getting everything out the way, so you're ready for 1 o'clock kickoff. Then you settle down, you're drinking, you're eating, whatever. By the time, the 4 o'clock games are over, you tired.
You're tired.
So then you go home and you chill and watch the late game.
And that late game sometimes doesn't go off till 11, 12 o'clock. It depends.
Then you get up Monday morning, and then you go to work, which you took off. So
right, but still on a normal Monday, you zoned out because you done spent all that day on Sunday. You ain't really prepared for Monday, right? And you just like, all right, I know, man. Especially if your fantasy team losing. Right. You ain't thinking about nothing at work. You're thinking about, all right, man, we got to get this Monday night game.
Right. And then the Monday night game
just go south.
Then you losing by just a few points.
So you stand up.
You stand up, and then you tell you can't take it anymore, and then you knock out.
Head nod, and you wake up, the game over.
The game over, and then you literally, like, I think I woke up probably around 4 o'clock. And I picked up my phone.
And you was like,
and I'm like,
what?
And I looked at it first time, I'm like, how in the
Man, I was sick.
How in the
I started to take off Tuesday.
double hockey sticks.
I was sick. We got one more team to go over. Who's the last team?
The last team.
Or did we just cover that?
I think we did.
Okay. I think we got it all.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Listen, the first week is in the books. We're on week number 2.
Week number 2.
Week number 2.
So.
Prime time grind. Week number 2.
So this is going to be a good week for me. I'll tell you why. Because I'll get my team out the way tomorrow night. So, got a good feeling about my fantasy with my players that I got, going into tomorrow night.
Lamont.
And then when Sunday come around, I can just really focus on my fantasy.
Lamont.
What's up?
I'm 10 and you 12th ranked in the league already.
Well, Gerald,
we got to fix that.
What you said before, the only way is up.
Only way is up. That's right.
Kind of like last year, huh, Gerald?
Hey, I did. All I'm saying is I won what I invested. So I got that back.
So you won 3 times?
Mm-hmm. I won top points 3 times last year. Got it all back. Yep.
3 times.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't remember that, but
Lamont do. He reminded me. I didn't remember.
You got 3 times?
Yeah.
So how many times you got to win top player?
3 times.
3 times. Yeah. Then you basically get your money back. What you invested.
3 times.
I mean, you preaching to the choir?
I don't know. I don't think you've ever done that. Did you?
I got my money back in the regular season.
Ain't that what we talking about?
That's what we're talking about, Nick.
Yeah, but you're missing the point. I got my money back in the regular season, and then in playoff for the championship.
Playoffs?
Yeah, playoffs.
Playoffs?
Yeah, I know. You just hope to win a game, but
Playoffs?
Playoffs.
No, so like I said in the first episode, I ended up being the first place loser because Calamari fell off.
Just like your team,
So
Bob.
then that boy fell off.
Who got Calamari again? Is it
I'm almost guaranteeing
Yeah,
that you will not win this week.
Guarantee. That sounds like
Listen,
it's like a side bet or something.
Listen. Here we go. I will walk in here with a 6-pack of Sweetwater, your flavor, if you win. Hell, I even go 12. If you win,
12-pack?
I'll walk in here with a 12.
Of picking the flavor.
You don't want me to do
So
that?
what do you say to come back?
Hey, look. Yeah, you go look for
Because
the eyes.
I'll come in here with
content
some.
number.
I'll come in here with some Sweetwater Light. It'd be like water. You'd be like, what the hell?
Look, I don't care. I drink it all. Don't come here with that Center Sun though.
I ain't coming here with nothing.
Stuff anymore.
I ain't coming in here with nothing.
That Miller High Life.
Absolute ribbon.
I think I can do that before I can do the champagne or beers.
Oh, so okay. So we went through everybody. That's the whole
That's
full
it, man.
week 2.
Week 2.
What time is it?
We had any winners calling in
34
today?
past the hour.
I'm gonna see if I'm gonna call.
10:34.
I'm gonna see if I can call league runners real quick. See if he'll wait.
Okay.
Had to keep getting up.
Hey, he the number one man on 182 points. We need to talk to him.
I talked to him enough. He always talking on the sideline. That's one of the number one talkers.
Uh-oh.
That's my homeboy. He actually won the very first year I had the fantasy league.
So you really think you know what he's doing, huh?
He think he did. He ain't won in 10 years,
Oh God.
but he think he know what he doing.
He came out the gate
I was
blazing.
gonna say
He did.
I
I
was
mean, I
gonna
have
say
to give it to him.
he came out on fire.
He came out, and I even text him during the draft. I'm like, I see what you doing. Cause I saw them when he took Cook, and then he had Mahomes, and then he had Waller. I was like, oh, okay, he's going on the right track.
He got a good solid team.
Yeah, he does.
Let's see if my guy answer.
Man, Curtis Samuel's on IR.
The only thing about scoring those high points every week, you just get that feeling that it won't happen again. You know, it's kind of like that thing you don't want to talk about, but you know in the back of your head,
You know you exceeded expectations, and that
Right.
ain't gonna happen no more.
right? I think one time last year I scored like 220 points. I think.
Ooh, that's a lot of points. Ooh.
I
Man,
know, right?
and you just like, oh God, you know.
Okay, he not, son. Let's see here. Let me see if I can hit him.
Yeah, that's one of those things, man. You know, it's a lot. It's a lot. You know, it's a lot of pressure in fantasy, man.
It is, man.
You know, my head goes off to those people, man, that's running multiple leagues.
I'm in 3.
I mean,
I had to.
He probably in the bed sleep.
either that, they don't want to call in and jinx themselves.
He got know what I'm calling for.
Hey,
don't wanna
look,
give
he
up
may
any
be
trade.
with the phone in his hand, like, I'm not gonna call it.
Right. He's like, I don't want to give up any trade secrets.
look, I'm gonna do the same thing next week. I don't want to jinx myself.
Please leave your message for
Yeah, he just hit the red button on you.
Yeah,
He don't
trying.
want to jinx himself. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
He gonna text me in the morning. I was like, man, I was asleep, man. You should have let me know ahead of time. That's
Or
what
he
it
may be like, man, I didn't want to call in and jinx myself.
Man, I was
I
asleep,
plan on
man.
scoring 250 points next week.
Right. He's like, man, I was asleep. What y'all want?
Because The last time, right? That's the guy who he didn't play last year.
Okay.
Then he came back. Right?
Gotcha.
But the year before that, he was like in 11th place, like 10th or 11th place.
Just a tad bit in front of Gerald, huh?
Right. So I kind of felt like, well, he didn't want to play last year because he got tired of losing. And that was kind of his streak. I mean, he wasn't a top performer. Like in the beginning, he was a top performer. And then he slowly, 6, 7, 9, 10, like, okay, I guess maybe he tired of losing, so that's why he done. So
He came back strong.
he came back with a vengeance in the first one.
Anybody can come back strong, Nick.
Anybody.
Anybody.
Anybody?
Anybody.
I don't really know how to take that.
I just said anybody.
I mean, I don't know how to.
Trying to read between the lines.
Yeah, because
That's one of them. You can't read between the lines. It just is what it is.
Is he sneak dissing me or?
It just is what it is. I said anybody.
All right, people, man. Well, we don't want to keep y'all too long, man.
Yeah.
This is a recap of the first week, and so we're gonna keep this thing going. Got a lot to look forward to this next week, man. Again, week 1, anything can happen. Week number 2, if it happens again, then people gonna be in trouble, or some people gonna keep riding high, man. So there's gonna be a lot of twists and turns, man. But I'm excited to see what happens, man.
Yeah, this is good. Yes,
after
sir.
week 2, we might
Week
see
2.
who's lucky, who's good,
Right.
and who's decent, and who just flat out stink.
Exactly. The true colors gonna start shining soon, man.
Yes, sir.
Exactly.
Well, this is the prime time
Why you
grind.
looking at me, Drew?
Man, we wrapping up the show, man. I'm just trying to make eye
Hey,
contact.
this is the Primetime Grind Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm going to let them two keep going at it, but we're going to see y'all again next week. Appreciate it.
We out.
News.
Peace.